Hey guys, so Vivid Voltage. It's kind of sudden, and I wasn't tracking it as much lately, but it seems like it's really picking up, and it's gonna sell in probably a month. We're kind of seeing all the signs. So for most people who don't see Pokemon Center stocks, they'll notice that like it's you can't really get it at MSRP anymore, except for Pokemon Center. TCG player is at 170 now, but the thing is like I like to look at Pokemon Center stocks because for battle styles and Vivid Voltage is still available. And for like the last week until I checked the recent prices, Battle Styles was and it's still at 20,000 booster boxes of Pokemon Center. So there's just no real rush to get it. But for Vivid Voltage, it was kind of the same case except it was 10,000 boxes. Um, and obviously 10,000 is gonna run faster than 20,000 in a sense that they're equal buying rates. But yeah, there just wasn't like a big sort of like rush to get it, but that's kind of changed. And so this is why I like tracking the data. And I just did a recent video on this, but it seems like one of the most pressing things to talk about is that now that Twilight Masquerade is sold out, Twilight Masquerade sold out yesterday, and the price hasn't run up yet, but people already knew what's going to happen. And Twilight's already like a legitimately good set. Vivid Voltage has been down for like the last few years. Like it's MSRP now. Um, but people are like people don't like buying booster boxes that aren't gonna go up in value anytime soon. Like if you can wait a year, then wait a year. Um, but yeah, it's like as I said in the Pokemon Center video recently, like the difference between this and this is roughly it's just under 1,000. I think it's like 935. And these numbers are slightly rounded. But yeah, it's 3 days. So if it like even if I go at 900, the like 900 boxes being sold, in 3 days, then that means it's like 27 days or about 27, 28 days. So that's a month. So yeah, Vivid Voltage really does seem like it's gonna get sold in a month. It seems like it's the next box that's gonna get sold out. And as a reference to that, there are four booster box. I think that's 4 or 5. Am I counting right? There's 4 boxes left on Pokemon Center, and booster boxes are like one of the gold standards for investing. And Battle Styles isn't making movements. It's still at 20,000. There's no rush there. There's Temporal Forces, which is still at 20,000, so no rush there. And then there's Stellar Crown, which moved it moved about 100, slightly more than 100. So that's also making movements. Um, but yeah, it's you can still definitely get Stellar Crown below MSRP because MSRP is higher. With voltage you cannot, and 900 versus 100 is a really big difference. I think Vivid Voltage at this rate it's gonna be the next box to be sold out, and it kind of makes sense because there's not gonna be any more. There's no way they have more Vivid Voltage, um, and it's just been out so long that like it's probably gonna be like to give you a reference for Pokedata, it's probably gonna be just one of the worser sets, but still a bad booster box is still worth like over $200, $300 on the normal market. So just do this quick thing. So we go on Pokedata, and these prices aren't always the best, but like um, so last error, the lowest booster box is $250. Crimson Invasion. So if you have the worst box, it's still worth $250. And the price has like a lot of boxes will go like past like 200 and then they won't move much. I think this will be at worst case, Vivid Voltage will be like a 250, 300 something box for like the next couple of years. It means is it the best investment in the world? Well, not exactly, but if you're paying Pokemon Star prices, that's about one depending on like how much tax you have. Let's just say like 145 to 160 or 170 even. It's still like quite a big jump. And if you can sell, even if you want to just do a quick flip, there's definitely people going to do that. But yeah, I think that when it sells out, it's going to rise of all the Sword and Shield boxes, at least in the short term. I look beyond that, like the cheapest one is like Steam Siege, and like I do recognize some of these names at this point. I wasn't really around for like these older sets, but I do know people say Crimson Invasion and Steam Siege are just known as worser sets. But even that goes to like 400. So yeah, it's a last chance situation. I can't find Vivid Voltage like really cheaper at all anywhere. eBay doesn't have it. It'd be nice to get a case or whatever, but yeah, it's not really possible. Um, but yeah, I think it's the next one. And the Stellar Crown, I'm also keeping an eye on that. And Temporal and Battle Styles are just not as until they go less than 20,000 and we can see the actual numbers. Like I'm not that worried about it. Okay, The rest of the video, I'm just gonna go over some just general news because there are some things I would have liked to make a separate video on, but it seems like the most popular videos are these sort of market updates, and I want to give you guys that, and like it gets the most viewers, it kind of makes the most sense, and I want to give you guys what you want. But here's just a little extra because like this there wasn't like much in this video except talk about Vivid Voltage, and so I just have a few things I want to talk about that you guys might not be aware of. Okay, so I watched other YouTube channels, so I'll just go over each of these. Thing to know about this video. So this guy, Rudy, if you don't know him, he's been this Pokemon thing for like over, let's say, 10 years or whatever. And so what he does that he brings to the table is like data. And he has data from like, so he has people buying cards from him because he has like this sort of Patreon program. And he says that he has the numbers of sales, like volume, how much people are ordering back in 2021. And that was COVID. That was the last bull run, and he's saying that there's more being bought right now in the last 2 weeks than 2021. That means demand is still very high. Um, Everyone says that all these experienced people say that there's going to be a bear crash, but it seems like it's not happening anytime soon, which is why I'm still kind of bullish on Vivid Voltage going fine. Like Battle Styles has enough that maybe it could like still not be sold up at the end of this bull run, but Vivid Voltage is like surely it's on way. Like the bull run doesn't seem to have any slowing down anytime soon. Okay, that's it for that. Okay. Pokey yeah, this is just another one of those hey, like stores aren't getting enough allocation. So he gets like not the worst amount of allocations, but like I think in his video he says somewhere like he usually expects like over 100k, maybe 140, 150k of products, and he got like I don't remember the exact numbers, but like I think less than 30k. Just but like relatively that's like what 30% or less of the amount he expected to get. So in his situation, and this is important because you'll understand what's happened in the future. He got he was expect he put out pre-orders, and he did because he based his pre-orders that he was selling to people based on the amount he thought he was going to get. He got a lot less, and what most stores would do in this situation is that they would just cancel pre-orders. Either they don't actually have product they have to cancel, or they would cancel and just like fake say that they're canceled and they didn't get enough, and they would just resell the product. In his case, he said he's going to keep it at the price that he was selling. I think he was selling MSRP, and he's in a rare position where he can afford to do this, but he's actually losing thousands of dollars in order to sell it at the original price. And the way he's doing it is that he's actually going to buy products or refund people money plus extra money in order to like handle the pre-order stuff. So very interesting. I think in this case he recommends that stores don't do any more pre-orders. He's not doing more pre-orders, and so I think we're seeing that there's not going to be many more pre-orders in the future because there's just not like unexpected amount of allocation that people are getting. That means that it becomes more Wild Wild West, or like um, if you got on Prismatic early or Surging Sparks early, like that might have been one of the last times you could get early or Terrestrial early. Okay, next one. Actually, I want to talk about battle partners next. Where is it? Okay, I want to talk about battle partners next. So usually I make a separate battle partners video, but yeah, there's like I don't think it'll catch as much attention as like some of these other things. So, but I'll just put it here. So I just like watched this video. I skimmed the battle partners part, and so I was like, why am I not hearing much about battle partners? I was really confused. And the thing is, like, battle partners is being very crazy in terms of like demand as well. Like this is like ordering the Pokemon Center website for Japan, and this guy he said that this YouTuber, I don't know, PTCG radio, um he said that like he was on a long queue for over an hour. Like this is like the sort of message, and he hadn't experienced this since he had to buy EV Heroes, which was Japanese Evolving Skies. So like that's not a picture of Evolving Skies. Yeah, EV Heroes. So it seems like Battle Partners is getting a lot of demand. Personally, I think the only card worth it is the Reshiram card. So that's kind of gonna make or break the set for me, in my opinion. Like this Reshiram card right here. Um, it supports that in English it's gonna do big things, but in Japan, like it's like a big change in Japanese cards because we haven't really seen this for Japanese cards. Like yes, Terrestrial Festival has gone up, but like I can get Terrestrial Festival for like kind of okay price now. Like I can still get a Pokefisher, and they're gonna have a new wave, and I can still buy for. Oh, actually, they just sold out. Whoops. Okay, but I was still able to get it like days after the release, and like I was able to pre-order just fine. This is the first time I'm having difficulty like possibly pre-ordering battle partners, and when I look on just like Google, prices are really really high for like a normal booster box. So we're gonna see moves in the Japanese market. I don't really talk about the Japanese market as much anymore, but like it will have an impact on the English one. I don't think it's as good as Surging or Prismatic, but there's definitely gonna. This is a case where the demand is so high for Pokemon in general. Even if this is a bad set, which I don't know if it will be, it'll still do very well because that's how Vivid Voltage and Battle Styles did the last bull run, and now like there's so much of it that we still it hasn't sold out. But during the time, it was there was so much of it, or it was there was like so many high prices for it. Okay, next one. Since I'm talking about foreign cards, there was this talk about Chinese 151, and so Chinese is like getting their 151, and usually most people recommend not to invest in languages other than English and Japanese, just because there's not as much demand for it, or the cards aren't worth very much. I saw a video, and I'm not an expert on other languages, but I've seen Pokemon. I've seen like other people who actually work with foreign cards talk about this. If you're gonna get foreign cards, usually like you want to get them as sealed products, and you want to get like, or you pretty much want to target the products of exclusive cards only in that language. So I think in this case, there's never like assured cases where that happens, but like when people think like there are like this is opportunities to get the foreign languages. So these are four cards. There's Pikachu and all of them. I guess I could like open one of these. These are just like plays where people are interested in this sort of stuff. But yeah, if these cards are never released in any other language, like these cards will have some sort of opportunity in them. I don't know how they'll do long term, but there's usually an opportunity for people who like no, they'll suddenly find out about like, oh my god, how did I not know about this like really beautiful Pikachu card? Especially this one. This is probably gonna be the most popular because Gengar and Pikachu are so popular. Um, but yeah, in one of the videos I saw, they said yeah, but a lot of the Chinese cards they don't really go up in value. The exception was this set over here. This I think it's 25th anniversary set. It had this Pikachu and Mew card that was exclusive in Chinese, and so this is one that had a lot of opportunity. But the other cards and the YouTuber had like a lot of years of experience. He said out of all the products, this one was like more of the black swan compared to everyone else. So this Chinese one could be the next opportunity for that. Okay, and I think this is the last thing. But for those of you who don't know about Master Balls, um, there was an article about Master Balls in Prismatic and Terrestrial. There are going to be Master Balls in Prismatic, but the thing about that is that I don't know how smart or not smart this is, but pretty much Pokemon tried to make sure, in my opinion, that Terrestrial will still hold value and Prismatic will still hold value. So what happened with initially Master Balls is that for 151 they did Master Balls and okay, let's see. Sets, Japanese. So 151 they have Master Balls in Japanese but not in English. And then they realized that Master Balls are worth a lot of money because you see over here, the most expensive cards in 151 Japanese are actually the Gengar and the Pikachu because they're the Master Ball cards. And for those of you who don't know, like in this was the first time they did like Master Ball things. Like if you look really closely, there's an M there and two little dots. Um, and some of the Master Ball cards were like you only get one Master Ball per booster box. So out of 20 packs, you get one. And yeah, like they end up being very, very valuable because they're really hard to pull. Like first of all, you only get 1 out of 20, and then getting the specific Pokemon that you want is really, really hard. So these are very valuable. So they added those to Terrestrial Festival, and if you look at Terrestrial Festival, they're doing great too. Like they're also some of the most high valued card in Terrestrial Festival. They don't have the pictures here, but yeah, this Umbreon Reverse Master Ball is actually the most valuable card in Terrestrial Festival. So like people are expecting similar things to happen in Prismatic. What they did though is that they didn't do a one for one. Like they made sure that the Umbreon, like the most significant Master Balls are the Eevee evolutions. So like there's this Umbreon one that's a Master Ball in Japanese, and there's a Espeon one, there's a Sylvie, I think Sylveon one too. Okay, but what they did was that for the other Eevee evolutions, they have Master Balls to them too, but they're different cards. So how this is like a different print. I guess I could just look that up. So like Leafeon Master Ball. Okay, so Let's see. Actually, that is the same one. Okay, that's the Japanese one. Okay. Alright, I'm not really sure about this. Says that like uh, oh, okay, never mind. Okay, so this is how the master balls in Japanese look like if they actually had master balls. These are the prints, but in English they'll look like this actually. And so what you end up having is that if you're a collector, um, you'll end up having like you'll have to collect Japanese if you want all the master balls because you won't be able to have the prints of these EVs in those things. And like for most people who are not trying to really catch them all, it's not a big deal. But for collectors, honestly, like I feel like it's like gateway, get like ways to get investors who are only Japanese collectors or only English collectors to go into other language. Because if you're a Japanese collector, you want all of them. Or like, oh, I have to collect English now because they only appear in English and vice versa. But I think that that'll have some effect on the market, and Pokemon's definitely experimenting with that. Okay, so this is one of the first times I did all these random ideas in one video. I guess I'll just look at the comments and see, and the views and whatever, see how it goes. But anyway, thanks guys. Bye.